Okay, so it seems that there's been a little bit of an update on the whole Filian situation. Now, if you don't know what's happened, recently Filian has been on hiatus for around about 6 months now, and essentially in the past couple of days, she's now wiped everything from, her Twitter to her TikTok to her kind of, her Twitch, YouTube, everything is gone. And obviously the YouTube was the first one that we kind of saw that was starting to fade away and slowly go away as she was deleting, or deleting, privating videos, which we found out in the last video. Essentially, it's kind of confirmed that she has privated the videos and not deleted them fully. But essentially, there has been a couple of other theories, though, that people have been kind of throwing around. And obviously, this is some of the screenshots from her channel, from Rima here. You can see there is nothing, right? It is all gone. Actually, if you go onto her TikToks are still there. You can still actually watch the TikToks themselves. It is just the actual profile picture is gone, which I'm assuming is because she doesn't want to get rid of the content, which again, I think is one of the biggest kind of indicators to me that this is obviously a part of her hiatus, ARG comeback thing, whatever you want to call it, right? Because obviously, whenever it comes to, and we talked about this in the last video as well, whenever it comes to her Twitter and whenever it comes to her Twitch and her YouTube, a lot of that is kind of recoverable, or it doesn't matter, right? So, for example, with Twitter, it doesn't really matter if your tweets go away. Let's be honest, as I said in the last video, sometimes it's good if you do get rid of some of your tweets, right? Because, people don't like having old tweets on their account and they getting dug up years later, whatever, it may be less acceptable to tweet something like that, right? So, of course, that is one of the factors that people are considering whenever all the tweets are gone from Filian's account. And the same with YouTube. Obviously, YouTube, you can private the videos and you can put them back to public again whenever she comes back. So there's no issue there. And of course, with what else was it? Twitch, it's just VODs, so it doesn't really matter. But with TikTok, I know you can private them, but I'm pretty sure it's a little bit of a hassle compared to some of the other kind of tools. Because YouTube, you can just use like a checkbox and just select everything. Whereas I think it's a little bit harder with TikTok, so she just doesn't want to like deal with that. That's at least my thought behind it. Now, there could be other reasons as to why she's managed to keep her TikToks up here, but I think it has something to do with the fact that she can't get rid of them without having to do either a lot of work, or B, deleting them completely, right? So she's just stuck with getting rid of the profile picture there, which obviously gives people a lot of hope that she might be coming back. But there is one channel that is still completely up in terms of Filian and her kind of content, which a lot of people have been pointing out, which is Filian's Bilibili channel. It is still up, and obviously we know it is notoriously quite big. The same with Neurosamas as well. A couple of VTubers are very big on Bilibili and very big in China. And of course, yeah, it seems like the account is still up with 146,000 followers. But why is this? Well, essentially, my kind of reasoning behind this, and of course, it seems like they're still uploading. Well, this was on like the 8th of February. I'm pretty sure she's on hiatus then. My kind of reasoning behind this is because it is run by someone else. But again, maybe not. Maybe it is run by Filian. I haven't done, much research on exactly how the channel is run and what is going on behind it. And again, it could be for multiple reasons. It could be, as I said before, it could be hard to it could be difficult to private the videos in bulk or whatever. So it's too much of a hassle to kind of get back. Similarly to the TikTok. And as I said, potentially there is also the chance that maybe someone else is running the account. I've had that happen before. There's been like people who have done my content and re-uploaded it onto Bilibili, which I've been fine with. I don't care, because obviously it is cool to see it up on there. But again, that is entirely run by them. So, if I was to take down all my videos and start doing some like ARG thing, they're not exactly going to follow suit, are they? Because they're essentially almost like a fan channel, right? But again, obviously within the screenshot, you can see the IP location is the United States. So it could be run by Filian, or it could be run by somebody else who is in the United States that like can speak Chinese or whatever. I don't know. But either way, this channel is still up. This is the last remaining channel for Filian in terms of the one that hasn't been taken down, which I think is pretty interesting, right? It was still getting updates even until February. Maybe she genuinely forgot this account exists. TikTok doesn't have a profile picture, but has videos. I don't know if anybody else has commented on this in terms of what is going on. No, it doesn't seem like it. And also, as well, like this subreddit seems to have lost its picture too. I just realized that as well. Obviously, I know her Reddit account probably is also pretty wiped too. But again, it's interesting, right? It's interesting that this is the final one that is kind of alive. Does it mean anything? Probably not, right? I don't think it does mean anything. I think that honestly, it is one of these things where it's harder to get rid of it, and potentially it wasn't even accessible by her. So there's just no point in getting rid of it. And as they say, you know, it was still making updates in February, which makes me think it was run by someone else even more due to the fact of it being, you know, uploaded in February, right? Because of course, Filian wouldn't upload anything herself in February while doing this whole hiatus thing, right? It just doesn't make sense. So of course, my, you know, theory behind this is that there's someone else managing the channel, whether they're from the US or from China or from both. You know, it's whatever. But at the end of the day, it seems like they were still uploading during the hiatus. Now, it's slowed down a little bit because obviously there's probably less content to cover anyways, regardless of whether you're covering, whether you're joining in with the hiatus or not. And yeah, it is pretty interesting, right? I think that many people have been kind of, you know, taking a look at all of her different accounts and saying if there's any clues or whatever that they can find to kind of finding Filian, because I think that is really the next step now in terms of the ARG and in terms of like trying to figure out what she's doing, because again, it seems like there's been a lot of clues that have been left behind with the whole ARG document. If you guys remember, we looked back at that in a couple of videos ago, where she has left little like Easter eggs and stuff, little channels and all of this kind of, you know, things that have pointed us in the direction that we've gotten to at this point. But obviously now we've got a big kind of change with, you know, the channels going down. Yeah, people are wondering whether there's going to be any kind of like, you know, posts or whatever, or any kind of, you know, just little Easter eggs that could be featured in any of these deleted channels. And I think there is a very high chance that there could be. And obviously a lot of people are going to be keeping an eye on it. A lot of people are going to be updating that page daily to see if there's anything new or any changes within the channel that could point towards any kind of, you know, what you call it, you know, clue, right? Any clue as to how she's getting back. And, you know, there's been many theories on, for example, lots of people saying that the ARG was like unsolvable, right? And that, you know, people weren't figuring out quick enough. And that's why she's taken so long to come back. Because again, as I said, it's been 6 months, right? People are saying like potentially it could be due to the fact that, you know, nobody's figured it out when she thought that people might have figured it out by now. Potentially that could be the case, and maybe this is a case of escalation in the sense that she wanted to go further. But to be honest, I think it is actually more likely that this was the plan all along. Maybe it took a little bit longer than, you know, she thought it originally would do. But I think like kind of deleting everything, you know, getting rid of everything was potentially the plan, right? I think it was the plan, and it was kind of, you know, what was going to happen. And hopefully this means that, yeah, this is going to be, you know, this is going to mean that she's going to come back sooner, because, you know, why would you do this if you're going to, you know, stay away for another 6 months, right? It doesn't make any sense because, as I said in previous videos, it's one of these things where she's losing money by not having any kind of videos up on her channel and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense to do this long term. So I'm gonna, you know, kind of guess that it's gonna be in the next couple of weeks or so, we might see some kind of at least hints at the minimum, if not maybe a comeback, you know, within that kind of time. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. But I do think it was pretty interesting that there is still a couple of channels still up and still some content that is still up on Filian's TikTok as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And of course, I'll make a video if anything else does come out about this. But yeah, that's what I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So, yeah.